I'm going to talk about decentralized finance and my portfolio of coins within that. I did a video. There'll be a link down below to any video I talk about. The first one, I talked about my entire portfolio by category. For example, my top 3 categories are Layer 1, DeFi, which we're going to talk about in a moment, and AI, and then some other categories. So I did a video yesterday on just Layer 1s. There'll be a link down below for that, which ones I'm in and why. Now, my second favorite category, decentralized finance. I'm a big dumb animal. Don't do what I do. That's my disclaimer. Informational purposes only. I do this 6 days a week, sometimes more. I have a Twitter, @longest. Follow that if you will, because I post things on there. I just started about a month ago putting more information. Decentralized finance, to me, it includes 4 different categories. So we're talking about exchanges, decentralized exchanges, borrowing and lending, RWA, and then layer 1s, which may be specific to decentralized finance. Okay. So when it comes to, like I said, my top 3, layer 1, decentralized finance, AI, I think those are the biggest narratives. Of course, there's gaming. I have some in gaming. I'll talk about that probably in my last video on what's in my portfolio because I'm walking you through everything. This is December 17th. Things can change on a day-to-day basis. Everything I'm about to discuss, I own. Okay, so first let's talk about decentralized exchanges. If we go over here to DeFi Llama and we look at, they put all of them up top. If you don't see them, there's a drop down. You can find others, but on Base. Okay, Base is essentially, these are all layer 1s essentially, but Base is a layer 2 technically because it's built on top of Ethereum. There is no Base coin, but as you can imagine, it was created by Coinbase. They have a lot of users. Look how much TVL has gone up in a short period of time. This was launched middle of last year, and it's already at $4 billion. Ethereum's like 80 billion, and I think Solana's at 9 billion, so they're moving up fast. When you scroll down on DeFi Llama, you can see, and this is ranked by total volume locked, and then the various categories. So Aerodrome, that's my favorite one. I've been in there for a while. I particularly like it when there's a decentralized exchange specific to one chain. In other words, this is just the base chain. You see here Uniswap, which has been around forever, 26 chains. Uniswap's great place to go and do anything you want. But for investment purposes, I believe that the base ecosystem is going to be growing fast. They have so many users and they can onboard and market whatever they want. Total volume locked, let's just click in here. 1.7 billion. You can see at the beginning of 2024, January 1st, 120 million. Now, 1.7 billion. That was in 1 year. Phenomenal. So if we look at Aerodrome on CoinGecko, I'm going to use CoinGecko because you can go through 2 categories they have, top RWA and top DeFi. The DeFi category on CoinMarketCap, I don't like all that much. I think there's a lot there that shouldn't be there. Anyway, using CoinGecko, here's what's interesting. Market cap 1.3 billion, but total locked 1.7 billion. Okay, so I would think that they would have a higher valuation than they would locked. Now, of course, that's market cap. If you're not familiar, you take the market cap, and what they show on these sites is the current price, which at the moment is $1.90, times the total amount of coins that are circulating supply. As you can see here, there's actually a larger supply, so they only have about 50% circulating. That's why fully diluted is 2.6 billion. But regardless, at the moment, most people are looking at market cap. So I would think it should have a larger market cap. Okay, so that's my first one in decentralized finance. My second one, because I love Hedera and it's growing fast, and the Hedera network, when it comes to decentralized finance, is basically brand new. Not a lot of locked value, 182 million. You can see how it went up here recently pretty substantially. A lot of that's because of the Hedera price itself of the Hedera coin. You come down here, the largest exchange, decentralized exchange here is called Saucer Swap, 136 million. So that's my second decentralized exchange that I've invested in. If you're wondering, I purchased Sauce using what's called Hashback, which is a wallet for Hedera. So I hold Hedera there, and I can interact with all the different D apps. And of course, you can swap for different things. That's how I've invested in Saucer Swap. So those are 2 decentralized exchanges on two networks that I think are just going to blow up. Okay, now let's talk about, because I think borrowing and lending is going to be huge. If you watch my videos, you'll know that I'm a big fan of what I call debanking. And to me, debanking means I'm never going to walk in a bank again or use a bank again. And I can't wait. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, many different businesses, raised money for various companies. And I can tell you the generic bank on the street corner, even though they're huge and they're all over the US, they're useless. What do? You walk in and what happens? It's like a used car lot. They run up to you and they say, you want to open a checking account? You want to open a savings account? You want to get a car loan? You want to get a home loan? You want to refinance your car? I don't want any of those things. And then they walk away. And then you go take some money out or put some money in. It's not useful, in my opinion. So I can't wait until the day when I no longer use a bank. And I believe that every financial service that you're used to interacting with today will be decentralized through crypto one way or another. So let's get into borrowing and lending. Because of decentralization, you'll be able to be your own bank. All right, the first one is on the base. Like I said, let's go back to the base network and let's see right down here, Morpho Blue lending 346 million. Now it says two chains. The reason it says two chains is because it's Ethereum as well. Why? Well, Base was built on Ethereum. Okay, so Morpho Blue, it is only a 400 million market cap. Now they don't have as many coins out, about 15%. So fully diluted is 2.6 billion. So 400 million market cap. Now this makes a little more sense. They've got 346 million total value locked. I have a link below to BitUnix because at the moment, I don't believe Morpho is on Coinbase. I'd have to double check that. But if it's not, you can just use BitUnix below. You don't need a VPN or anything like that. That's just another site exchange you can use to purchase something like Morpho. That's how I've done it. Now, the next one is called Goldfinch. It's only number 447, 160 million market cap, fully diluted only 200. As I've said before, informational purposes only. I wouldn't suggest you get into it at the moment. I was in a long time ago. I did some videos on it. It seemed like they weren't putting as much effort in from what I could tell on their marketing or the amount of loans they were giving, but it's loans. It's unsecured real world loans to businesses. Okay, so if you're familiar with getting a loan and you go to Aave or one of these others, typically it's called an over collateralized loan. So you put up something like Ethereum, maybe what you put in is worth $12,000. You can get a loan, but for less than $12,000. I have a loan to value, maybe it's 80%, so maybe you're like $9,000 or $10,000 you can actually take out. So if you default and you can't pay, they're going to take it away. Okay, fine, but that's not that useful in the real world going forward to hit a bigger marketplace, because most people are going to get a loan for a car or for whatever it is because they don't have the cash. So they call those under collateralized loans or unsecured. So Goldfinch is providing unsecured loans. Particularly, they're starting with businesses. Most all of these are with respect to either businesses or institutions or accredited investors. And the reason is businesses obviously don't have a huge amount of cash. So therefore, that's who they're going to go after first. But they typically might have a decent amount of assets. So anyway, all of these are going after the businesses. And like I said, I wouldn't recommend it at the moment. It hasn't picked up too much. If you watch some of my videos, you'll see that I sold it when it was over $2. It went back down to like $1, so I bought back in. Not sure that was the greatest decision, but I'm going to keep it because it's borrowing and lending unsecured to businesses. We'll just watch and see how that one goes. Next, I really like Maple Finance. Sure, they've got stablecoin secured lending, altcoins secured lending. In other words, you're getting a loan, but you're putting up stablecoins, or you're getting a loan, you're putting up altcoins. But here you go, corporate credit. This is institutional borrowers, and it's under collateralized. So they're doing the same thing to businesses, providing what businesses need using their corporate credit. They just did, I've got a video on it. Actually, if you just go to my channel, there's a search bar, and you can just type in like MPL, because I put whatever crypto I'm talking about in the title of every video, and it'll pull it up. But they're migrating over to a SYRUP token, SYRUP. So if you go to Maple Finance, you'll see it's $19.85. If you go to their website, there's a link. I believe it's up at the top. Yeah, SYRUP is live. You can convert it. It's 100 to 1. Now let's see how that worked. SYRUP. So Maple is still trading, but I think they said it'll end in 3 years. Syrup, you don't have to do it. Even during this bull run, you don't have to do it. You can do it later. You can still trade Maple. $19.85. It's 100 to 1. So if you go to Syrup, 0.2014. Okay, so they should be mimicking. It should probably be 0.1985. I'm sure that's just a timing thing. But bottom line is it's 100 to 1. So you are getting the same price for the tokens, whether you're buying the Maples or you're buying the Syrup. All right, now next is Clearpool. 300 million market cap, fully diluted valuation 500. They are also providing loans to institutional borrowers. So this is another one, total value locked, 112 million. Look at the number. I don't even know what that number is. Is that 2 trillion? Loans originated. So Clearpool I think is going to do extremely well. Again, it's another one like a GFI and a Maple, but I think they're making some of the biggest advancements or progress, I should say. Okay, 2 more. One is Pendle. Pendle is interesting because it is a yield trading protocol. You get a loan, typically like a car, and you have a payment. Your payment can be broken into principal, the money that goes directly to pay down the loan balance, interest, the money that just goes to the bank so they can go party. You can take that amount of the total car loan, say it's $500. Maybe when you first start paying it, 300 is going to principal, 200 is going to interest, and your amortization table changes over time. The interest goes down, the principal goes up. Well, what they allow you to do is they have a PT token and a YT token, and they allow it to split out the principal amount and the yield amount, and they split them out. Not an uncommon thing. It's been done for a long time, probably most common in like mortgages. But it is interesting that they allow, depending upon how you want to, or what type of a return you're looking for and how risky you want to be, they break these things out. Okay, the last one is actually called Bonzo. I like Bonzo a lot. You can't actually buy it yet. It's on the Hedera network, so that's borrowing and lending on Hedera, and it's listed right here. 26 million. It just launched about a month and a half ago, and they needed 5 million to be able to start borrowing and lending, and they were able to. And I think December 13th, which was just 4 or 5 days ago, they actually just started the borrowing and lending, and they've been lending quite a bit. I believe Hedera is going to take off. I believe they're going to take off. You can provide liquidity. You can stake things like Sauce or HBAR, Hedera, and by providing the liquidity, you earn points. And when the Bonzo token is available, which I think is going to have to be by February 28th, or no, that's the end of the first season. Sometime next year, they're going to offer the token, and you'll be able to convert your points over to tokens if you're interested. That's one way to get involved in that. So that was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus Bonzo, borrowing and lending. RWA. I only have one that I consider to be pure RWA, executed, done, working, and impressive. And that's Ondo, if you're not familiar. Probably are. I think a lot of people talk about Ondo. Ondo Finance. Ondo Finance did this a while ago. Their product where they've tokenized U.S. Treasuries and short-term U.S. Treasuries, and the underlying assets are provided. They partnered with BlackRock. That's a big deal. I believe it's just institutional and accredited investors at the moment, but short-term U.S. Treasuries, or U.S. Treasuries is $35 trillion? And I looked it up. They trade 900 billion a day. I'm not saying this token. I'm saying Treasuries trade over 900 billion in volume a day. Significant amount. If you want to go to the government website and purchase a Treasury, I think short-term auctions once a week maybe. And now with this, with tokens, you're going to be able to trade it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's significant. To me, it's very significant. I'm a huge fan. I think this is just going to blow up. I think because Ondo has already done it. They're not talking about doing it. They already did it. They did it with BlackRock. And who knows what's coming out next. But it is impressive. So let's talk about lastly. Well, one is BSL. I'm not suggesting this one at all. It's called Bank Social. And it's on the Hedera network. They migrated to the Hedera network. 6 million market cap. Not recommending it at all. Shot in the dark. Why do I like it? Why did I bother? Because they basically white labeled a solution so that credit unions, and there are a lot of credit unions, and credit unions have a lot of members, and they're white labeling a solution where they can just use Bank Social, the credit union, to provide, when the credit union member logs in, they'll be able to purchase and deal with crypto. And who will be providing that back end to make it happen? Bank Social. So they're saying, you're a credit union, probably don't have a lot of resources, but you have a lot of members. They want access to this sort of thing. You don't want them to take their business elsewhere. Allow them to buy crypto and whatnot on your platform. Who knows how they integrate? Could be as simple as a URL. I don't know. And all of a sudden, they're able to purchase crypto, and it looks as if they're doing it all from the credit union, but the back end is being provided by Bank Social. I'll probably be holding this one way past this bull market because I doubt it's going to get any attention. Again, not suggesting it, just telling you because I've got some. Then two that I talked about yesterday in the other video on my layer ones, Mantra and Injective. They're both layer ones, but Mantra to me is an RWA play, layer one specific, and Injective is just DeFi in general, layer one specific. So that's it. However, my largest investments out of everything we talked about are Arrow, the decentralized exchange on Base. I think that's going to blow up. Ondo, I think that's going to be the #1 RWA coin talked about. And then Sauce is a big one for me because I think as the Hedera network takes off, I believe Sauce will be right behind it. If you look at the charts, they almost mirror one another. Hope that was helpful. I'm going to do another video, and I'll put links to all of them down below on this was DeFi. I'll be doing the AI coins, and then probably another one on everything else I have. Maybe stitch it all together for one big video if you're interested, so you can see my portfolio. Yours doesn't have to mimic it, but you can see where I'm putting most of my exposure in those 4 categories that we talked about, which essentially in DeFi was exchanges, decentralized exchanges, borrowing and lending, real world assets, and then some layer 1 specific DeFi. Have a great day. Hope we can all make generational wealth together with crypto. Thanks for watching.